This is Africa, the world's second-largest continent, rich with countless natural resources. Around 30% of the world's natural resources are found in Africa, whether it's gold, diamonds, uranium, platinum, hydro and solar energy, or reserves of gas and oil. Apart from this, Africa's land is also highly fertile for agriculture. But despite having so much, Africa remains the poorest continent in the world. About 40% of Africa's population lives in poverty. So why is this? Why is it that despite all these riches, Africa is only known for poverty, hunger, corruption, and political instability? Generally, people believe that the main reasons are Western countries exploiting Africa for their own benefit and the massive corruption among African leaders. But the truth is, it's not only about this. Africa's geography has also played a major role in its poverty. Along with that, there are some other factors that have pushed Africa into this condition. There's no doubt that Western countries have had a big hand in Africa's struggles. For almost 100 years, Africa was under British and French colonial rule, and they exploited a huge share of Africa's natural resources for their own interests. In the 19th century, Europeans enslaved strong Africans and shipped them abroad. The Western powers have always fought to control Africa and its diamond and gold resources. Thousands of Africans were enslaved, and many were brutally killed. There's even a Hollywood movie showing how Western powers carried this out. Similarly, in Nigeria, Shell's activities are another example covered in another video. The world's biggest food supply company, Colonial, has also exploited African children for making chocolate, something we've already discussed in detail before. So yes, Western powers had a huge role in Africa's downfall. But exploitation wasn't unique to Africa. The British Empire also exploited the Indian subcontinent and Singapore. Yet today, those regions are far more developed than Africa. And this is where Africa's geography problems come in. For any country or continent, coastlines are extremely important. Around 80% of the world's trade happens through the sea. A coastline is the land along the ocean where ports can be built. Looking at the map, Africa seems to have a long coastline, surrounded by oceans on almost every side. But unfortunately, most of Africa's coastlines are not suitable for building major seaports. That's why only a very small portion of Africa's coastline is useful for international trade. Europe, on the other hand, is smaller than Africa, but its coastline is longer and far more suitable. That's why Europe controls nearly 40% of global sea trade. Similarly, except for the Nile River, most African rivers are not navigable, meaning large cargo ships cannot pass through them. This limitation has always made trade in Africa very difficult. Another major financial loss for Africa comes from piracy. The Horn of Africa is one of the most dangerous regions in the world for cargo and commercial ships because Somali pirates frequently attack oil tankers and other vessels passing through. That's why many countries have built military bases in Djibouti to protect this trade route. But in much of East Africa, there are no strong military protections, leaving pirates in control. West Africa has piracy problems. For example, in October 2013, near Nigeria, pirates attacked an oil tanker, kidnapped its American crew, stole all the oil barrels, and only released the staff after their demands were met. Incidents like this happen frequently, making many countries avoid African shipping routes, costing Africa huge trade opportunities. Geography has also divided Africa internally. In the north, much of the land is arid and desert-like. The Sahara Desert, the largest hot desert in the world, dominates this region where the majority population is Muslim. In contrast, southern Africa is lush with forests, rain, and natural resources, and the majority population is Christian. This has created a constant divide between the north and south. One major reason for these divides is the borders drawn by the British and French empires in the 19th century. They ignored religion, language, and ethnicity when carving boundaries. As a result, for the past 60 years, Africa has been plagued by civil wars. Something very similar happened in the Middle East, where arbitrary borders drawn by colonial powers have kept the region unstable till today. But not all of Africa is struggling. There is one country that has changed its destiny: Botswana, the richest country in Africa. Botswana also gained independence from Britain in 1967, around the same time as many other African countries. Yet, while the rest of Africa is drowning in poverty, Botswana's per capita income is today equal to that of Mexico and Costa Rica. How Botswana achieved this is something we will discuss in another video soon. For now, the lesson is clear. Africans must realize that no one from outside will fix their problems. They have to take control of their own destiny. Recently, with China and Russia becoming more involved in Africa, there have been some significant developments. Geopolitically, Africa is going to become a very important continent in the near future. We'll cover that in another upcoming video. Here are all the sources we used for this video. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and share it with others. See you in the next video with another topic. Take care.